You think your house is haunted, tapping on the walls, messages appearing out of nowhere, but it's not a ghost. It's a boy you went on one awkward date with, and he's been living inside your walls. This is the real-life nightmare of Tina Bowen, who survived the twisted game of Daniel LaPlante. Plus, a man with a shovel takes on a polar bear, and some Darwin Award winners prove that stupid truly is deadly. Welcome to Dead or Survive.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dead or Survive. I am your host, Rob Riches.
I am your other host, Cheryl Riches. And here we go again. Number 2, Season 3.
You got a story?
I have a story.
Do you have a drink?
I do.
Anyways, you ready to go then?
I am, yeah.
Let her rip, potato chip.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about Tina Bowen today.
Bowen, like Scotty Bowen? Hockey god?
Maybe, I don't know who that is.
And you're Canadian.
Yeah, well, I've never heard that name.
You've never heard of Scotty Bowman?
Are you sure it wasn't Bowman? Bowen? Is it Bowen?
Oh, it might have been Bowman.
Yeah.
Bowman. Anyways, go on.
Okay. We're in 1986. Tina Bowen was 16 years old and lived with her father Frank and older sister Karen in a little town called Pepperell, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, they had just lost their mother to cancer.
Cancer sucks.
It does. With the family now relying solely on Frank's income, he found himself working longer hours in an effort to ensure their financial stability, which resulted in the girl spending more time home alone. One night, Tina got a phone call from a boy named Daniel LaPlante, who was the same age as her. And he claimed that he had obtained her phone number from a friend of theirs who lived in the same area that she lived. He was very polite and described himself as tall, blonde, and handsome, like the typical high school jock kind of thing.
Sort of like nowadays, you can be anything you want, as long as you're on a computer screen.
That's right. Tina and Daniel gradually grew closer over several phone calls, and Tina found some comfort in Daniel as she was dealing with the loss of her mother. Daniel eventually asked if he could meet Tina. He said he would take her to the fair for ice cream. Tina agreed and was super excited to meet him. However, on the night that Daniel arrived, Tina opened the door and Daniel was nothing like he described.
Surprise.
Yeah. Instead, the real Daniel LaPlante was 5'8", super skinny, and had dark, greasy hair. Tina didn't call him out on his catfishing, because that probably wasn't a term then, but anyway, she decided she'd be nice and she still went out on the date. While they were on the date, though, Daniel kept asking these really uncomfortable questions about her mother, and a lot of them. He kept talking about how her mother passed, and he was asking inappropriate questions like, how much did she suffer?
Right, creep.
Right?
Creep.
Right. So
Creepy.
Tina felt the same way. Creep.
So Tina said goodbye and went home.
He made Tina feel really uncomfortable, and so at some point, Tina couldn't take it anymore. She cut the date short and left. She also made it very clear that she never wanted to talk to him again.
Oh boy, that set him off.
So life moved on, sans Daniel, or so she thought.
Hope.
One night when Frank was at work, Tina and Karen, seeking connection with their late mother, brought out a Ouija board and decided...
Oh, stop. Why?
Well, this is what they did. They brought out a Ouija board and decided to conduct a seance. They dedicated several hours to their attempts, hoping to make contact, but regrettably, no communication occurred.
But they opened a portal to hell.
Maybe. Guess you gotta keep listening and find out. It was a portal of something, I don't know. Disheartened by the lack of success, they eventually abandoned their efforts and went to bed in their respective bedrooms. A few hours later, as Tina and Karen lay in their beds, they were abruptly awakened by peculiar tapping sounds emanating from the walls. Alarmed and wide-eyed,
My God, he was living in the walls.
They ran to each other and tried to figure out the source of these eerie noises. To their amazement, the tapping grew increasingly pronounced and insistent, and in that moment, the sisters became convinced that they were indeed being contacted by the mother from the realm beyond. When their father Frank returned home from work, Tina and Karen eagerly recounted the bizarre wall-tapping episode, filled with awe and excitement. However, Frank, older, wiser, seemed to dismiss their account, attributing this whole thing to the grief that their young imaginations was putting together to try and deal with the loss of their mother. He tried to convince the girls that their mother was not reaching out from the other side. The girls were convinced, though, so for the next few nights, they continued to use the Ouija board to communicate with their late mother. Now the tapping would coincide with the seances.
He was living in the walls, wasn't he? He was living in the walls. I already know what's going on. That is so freaky. That's, oh.
Okay, well, can I tell my story?
Yes, tell your damn story.
Okay. The girls were convinced they were talking with their late mother until it got to be scary. Night after night, the girls woke up to eerie tapping sounds. They yelled for their father, but by the time Frank got there, all would be dead quiet. Frank was genuinely concerned because he couldn't hear any of this. He was just going by what they were saying, that his daughters were, having some mental health issues. And he believed that counseling might be a better route for them if these supernatural experiences persisted. Over the next few weeks, the family would often return home and find furniture was moved around, food was missing from the fridge, and random items were out of place. Frank thought it was one girl pulling a prank on the other girl and told them to put an end to the nonsense. The girls insisted that it was not them doing this.
No, it was Daniel in the wall.
These poor girls, though, they're like, Dad, there's something tapping, there's a ghost in the house, there's something going on, and Dad's just like, stop it.
Oh, yeah.
I get both sides, that's the thing. The girls started to believe that they had actually contacted an evil spirit who was pretending to be their mother while they were using the Ouija board. Things kept happening, like TV channels would flip and food and drink would go missing when the girls left the room for a minute. So there was one time one of the girls had a glass of milk and she was drinking the milk, and then she left the room for a minute and there was still like half a glass, and then she came back and it was gone. One evening, the girls heard tapping noises from the basement. Tina ran to the basement, hoping to catch the ghost. But what she found was a message written on the wall. It looked like it was written in blood. It said, "I'm in your room. Come and find me."
And she took off running to her room.
No, she didn't. That would be a horror movie decision, but she didn't do that. Tina grabbed Karen and left the house immediately because she was smart. They went to their neighbor's house and called Frank. Frank came home and found the writing on the wall was actually tomato sauce.
Num, 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 num.
He thought the girls were behind it, and annoyed, he put them into counseling and hoped things would improve. And for a little bit, things did get a bit better. Until days later, when the girls again started hearing the tapping sounds. This time, though, they were coming from Tina's room. There was also a message for them. "Hi, girls, I'm back. Come and find me." Not creepy at all.
Nope, just letting them know.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm back.
I wonder if they ever suspected their dad.
No, but I don't. Yeah, I just don't know why they didn't put together this creep. It all started after that.
Yeah, I don't think he ever entered her mind again. Like, from what I was reading, like, he wasn't anything that she thought about after that date. It was just a done deal. Anyways, again, the girls got scared and ran to their neighbor's house. The neighbors called Frank, home from work again, who at this point was very annoyed with the whole situation. Frank stormed into his house and was stunned because the entire house was ransacked, and the girls didn't say anything about that. They just said, "We found a note." There was an additional message on the wall that said, "Marry me." Frank went back to the neighbors to give the girls hell, but the neighbor stopped them and said, "No, when these girls got here, they were absolutely terrified. They couldn't fake what they were doing, and I don't think they're lying." So Frank went back to the house to look for an intruder. And then he went into Tina's bedroom. He found a boy standing in the corner with his face painted, wearing his late wife's dress and holding a hatchet.
Well, that's not creepy.
Not at all, right?
Why is he wearing a dress?
I don't know. Some of the articles said he was wearing his late wife's wedding dress, which is even creepier, but I think that was an embellishment that people added to the story.
What? People embellish stories?
Apparently they do.
Come on.
Frank had a brief struggle with the boy, but the boy escaped, seemingly vanishing into thin air.
Yeah, he went into a wall again.
Frank called the police, who put out a search in the area looking for a painted boy wearing a dress and holding a hatchet. Seems like it should be an easy find.
No.
Oh, you see that all the time, right?
Yes.
They were not able to locate him.
Actually, nowadays you probably do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the whole hatchet thing. That's something.
Well, maybe the hatchet, but I mean, you throw that, but seeing a guy in a dress.
Yeah, I guess.
mean-
let's not get into that situation.
I don't care. I'm just saying that it's probably more frequent now than
it would be way more frequent now than in 1986.
I don't know, because you keep telling me different years.
I think we're still in 86. It's either late 86 or early 87 at this point. Okay, anyways, they were not able to find him. The family left the house and stayed in a hotel for a few nights. Oh, here we go. On December 10th, 86, when Frank returned to the house to retrieve belongings, he spotted a man in the window. Frank went in the house, which I don't know if I would. Like, after all of that stuff, there was a guy with a hatchet. You see a man in the window. I think I'd just be like, hello, police. But he went in the house. When Frank opened the door, he found a family picture with a knife sticking in it. Written on it with magic marker was the message, I'm still here. Come find me. This kid's got balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
On another wall, there was another picture with the message, I'm going to kill you all. Police were called, and Daniel was discovered hiding in the crawl space.
But he's not that smart, is he?
No, he's not that smart. The crawl space was hidden behind a cupboard in Tina's room. Daniel was arrested without incident. They also found small holes throughout the house where Daniel would be able to watch the family without them ever knowing.
Creepy!
It's so creepy. Plus, they found missing items from the house and food wrappers. Daniel had been living there for a while. Okay, let me tell you about Daniel LaPlante.
I don't want to hear about him. He's a jerk.
He is a jerk, but you're going to hear about him. Oh. He's a kind of a created jerk.
Oh.
Daniel LaPlante was born on May 15th, 1970 in Townsend, Massachusetts, and he allegedly suffered traumatic sexual and psychological abuse during his childhood at the hands of his father.
Why allegedly? We don't know if it actually happened?
I don't think he was ever formally charged with it.
Of course not.
Yeah. When they discovered what was happening to him, he was taken to counseling where a psychiatrist began sexually abusing him as well.
Of course. Why would they? Somebody that you actually trust to be with your children.
That makes me sick. Like, the psychiatrist is the one that's supposed to help heal him, and he made it so much worse. And he should be held accountable for more than just sexual harassment or sexual misconduct or whatever it is, because he created a monster. So he should be responsible in some way.
Yeah, he should be an accomplice.
Monster. Yeah. LaPlante's environment was no less chaotic. His family's house and surrounding grounds were reportedly a mass of junk and old cars. LaPlante attended St. Bernard's High School in Fitchburg, where he was described by students and faculty as a loner and not particularly friendly. Which is, usually, oh, you would have never known or whatever. Not this time. They were like, yeah, he was kind of weird.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah.
He was on our top news item.
He never liked going to parties, and he never really talked much. By the 1980s, a neighbor had grown concerned over LaPlante's many solo excursions into the woods behind his home. He would just wander in the woods for hours by himself. He was also diagnosed with hyperactivity disorder. By the age of 15, Daniel became a neighborhood thief. He broke into Townsend homes during the evening, stole occupants' valuables, and then graduated to mind games. Because he began leaving things behind and moving things around. So he didn't make it really obvious that things were stolen. He would take things, but it wouldn't make it super obvious. But he would leave like a newspaper that didn't belong to them, or something that they would go, what is this? And this wasn't here before, just to kind of play games with them.
That's kind of funny though.
And then he did the whole hiding in the walls things, which I just covered, which actually has a term because it happens so often. Right?
I looked it up. That's not cool.
No, it's called frogging, and it's spelled PHROGGING. Like, it's. Yeah,
because that's how you spell frogging.
I know.
What the hell?
I don't know.
How did you spell that?
PH, like fat with a PH.
Yeah.
It's frogging with a PH.
Well, that's stupid.
Anyways, that's what it's called.
And people wonder why I can't spell. do stupid shit like that.
All right. Anyways, we're back to Daniel's arrest.
No, we're back to frogging. I don't like this. Why is it PH?
I don't know. As long as it doesn't happen here, they can spell it however they want. I don't care. Okay. Once arrested, Daniel was held in a juvenile facility until October of 1987. So not that long, like 10 months, something like that. And at this point, his mother, Eleanor Moore, remortgaged their home.
Wait a minute. It could have been 87 if he did all this other stuff in 86.
Why couldn't it?
I don't know. I thought you were telling about his history until he got up to the girl.
No, this is after his arrest.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I got lost in the timeline. It's like a Loki series. I branched off. Now I'm back to the main timeline.
Okay.
All right. 616. We're here.
His mother is remortgaging their house to pay for the $10,000 bail. On November 16th, 1987, less than a month after being released on bail, the 17-year-old LaPlante broke into the home of Andrew and Priscilla Gustafson, a young couple who moved to Townsend 5 years prior. He stole multiple items from their home, including a cordless phone and a cable box. Which two things, they would have been valuable in their time, and now they're completely useless, right?
No. Cordless phone's pretty good.
I guess.
I mean, my cell phone's cordless.
Yeah, but this is a landline phone. LaPlante continued to steal from multiple homes in the vicinity in the following weeks, but things turned violent on December 1st, 1987. And I'm going to put a huge warning here. If you don't like hearing about especially kids being hurt, then...
Come on!
Maybe...
Are you going back to this crap?
I'm going back, just like fast forward. I don't know. It's bad. So this is the day that Daniel...
You were doing so good.
I am sorry. It's just in this story, and I'm telling the story. Okay, on this day, Daniel returned to the Gustafson home and murdered Priscilla, 33, who was 33, as well as her two children, Abigail, 7, and William, 5. Priscilla was last seen alive picking up William from a babysitter at 1 p.m. She returned to her home, where LaPlante had broken in for a second time. He told investigators that normally he would have left when he heard somebody coming home, but this time he just decided not to. Instead, he tied up Priscilla, who was, at the time, several months pregnant, to her bed in the master bedroom and locked little William in the closet. He then raped Priscilla before shooting her twice in the head with a gun stolen from his neighbor's home.
Awesome.
Yeah. And William could hear the whole thing going on because he was in the closet. After murdering Priscilla, LaPlante drowned William in the upstairs bathtub and set out to leave the home. So he was just about to leave when little Abigail returned home from school around that time. He drowned Abigail, who also suffered blunt force trauma to the head in the downstairs bathroom. Eleanor's poor husband, Andrew, discovered his wife and called the police. He was too afraid to search for his children for fear that he would find them dead. Police found the bodies of the children in separate bathtubs. Officers immediately thought LaPlante could be responsible for the murders and named him as a suspect on December 2nd in a press conference. The next day, December 3rd, Lynn McGovern, who lived in the area, pulled her car into her garage when she just got a really bad feeling, and she listened to her gut.
Good for her.
Yes. She put her car into reverse, pulled back out, and approached a police officer and asked to be escorted into her house. When they entered her home, they found LaPlante, who jumped out a window and escaped into the woods. Can you imagine? That I just don't feel right about this, and she probably felt stupid going to the police. She was probably like, "I'm sorry, I know, I just feel weird," and then it proved to be true.
Well, they say that we have a sixth sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is a sense of people know when people are actually looking at you and stuff, and you get that weird feeling. So
yeah, and maybe there was something out of place that she didn't notice consciously, but subconsciously she noticed something was out of place, and then she was like, "Nope, I'm out of here."
But whatever it was, good for it.
Yeah. He later returned to Elm Street and broke...
Elm Street?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Daniel LaPlante.
It's not Freddy?
It's not Freddy.
Okay.
It certainly was a nightmare.
Right?
And broke into the house of Pam Makila. And Daniel forced Pam into her car when he began driving, but at some point, Pam jumped from her car and she got away without much injury and ran to the police for help.
That a girl.
Yeah, good for her. Daniel was on the run again. Authorities eventually found LaPlante driving a bright orange car still within the Massachusetts state lines.
Well, at least he wasn't, being very obvious or standing out.
Like he wasn't smart.
But bright orange, like, they make so many of those cars.
He made a run for it again and tried to hide in some trash cans, but this time he was caught and arrested. Frank Bowen, so dad number one, was pissed that Daniel was released in the first place. None of this would have happened if they had kept him in custody. So he told the newspapers, "You can't imagine what kind of fear we've been living in. He is mentally insane. There is no question about it. If Daniel LaPlante does not get convicted and gets out again, I will personally kill him."
That a boy, Dad.
Yeah, that is a mad father. Following a trial.
All right.
Yeah, like that could have been his kids. I mean, it's terrible that it happened to somebody else, but that could have been.
Well, and who knows if he got away if they wouldn't have came back to that house.
That's true. Right. Following a trial in 1988, LaPlante was convicted of all 3 murders in the Gustafson family slayings and sentenced to life in prison. The judge that sentenced him said he wished that he could give him the death sentence, but they don't have that in Massachusetts, so he couldn't. He got the max sentence that he could get as a minor, which was 3 consecutive life sentences with the chance of parole. So if he wasn't a minor, he could have got no parole, but because it's the law, underage people have to have the chance of parole.
So he gets to get out?
Well, 3 life sentences, what's that, 75 years?
I don't know what it is in the States, but yeah, 75 years, and you usually serve 1/3.
Yeah.
So 1/3, if you have good behavior, is only 25 years.
That's only if they deem you have good behavior, though.
Yeah.
In 2013, Daniel LaPlante sued the state of Massachusetts for allegedly denying him access to the supplies he needed to practice Wicca. LaPlante claimed he was a devout Wiccan, and the state refused to supply him with 30 essential oils and 26 herbs needed for his religious practice. Dragon's blood, black opium, and honeysuckle were just the few of the materials. LaPlante said he needed to ward off jinxes and connect with the goddesses. Local Wiccans were like, whoa, 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 don't associate him with us, and stated that the materials he requested were unnecessary. In 2017, LaPlante sought to be released from prison after a Massachusetts law went into effect that stated juveniles sentenced to life in prison should be given the opportunity to re-enter society. LaPlante apologized for his actions and asked for forgiveness. He said, "Words cannot fully capture what I have done. I murdered 3 innocent people. Because of me, a 5-year-old boy will never turn 6. There's a 7-year-old girl that will never turn 8. Because of me, a woman will never be able to give birth to her 3rd child. And I robbed an unborn child of his first breath. A husband was never able again to hear from his family, I love you. I do not have the words to fully express my profound sorrow, but I am truly sorry for the harm I have caused, for the very essence of who I am, from the depth of my soul, I am sorry." But they were just words. They never meant anything to him. He was just saying what he thought a judge wanted him to hear so that he could get out, because he had a psychiatric evaluation done, and a psychiatrist said that LaPlante showed no empathy and continued to minimize his behaviors. Priscilla's sister, Christine Morgan, testified that her sister wouldn't want LaPlante to see the light of day. Additionally, Andrew Gustafson's second wife, Carol Gustafson, said that that Andrew was plagued by nightmares of his family's murder until the day he died from cancer in 2014. Then, in 2019, a separate law went into effect allowing juveniles convicted of murder to ask for parole after they've served at least 30 years. The law stated that judges are given the discretion to reduce sentences. However, a Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court upheld the previous judge's rulings, so for now, that's where he remains.
Good.
Yes. That is the story of Daniel LaPlante. Well, it's a survival story, so it's actually a story of Tina Bowen surviving Daniel LaPlante.
Yeah, she got lucky, eh?
She did. Like, it could have been so much worse. Well, it was so much worse for another family.
That's what I mean. Like, it could have, like, you would think that her rejecting him would trigger him to go off on them.
Yeah. And maybe it did, but he just didn't have it in him yet, and he was working his way up to it.
Maybe. Or maybe he just drove bright orange cars so he got caught.
All right, so I'm gonna make the feel goods come back here with a little bit with the superhero of the day. This is the good one. This is the good stuff. In 2013, then 69-year-old William Oyet,
Need some help over there?
A-Y-O.
Are you having a stroke?
Listen.
What's going on? I'm trying to listen.
I'm calling him Willie. He's Willie now. Ayotte.
Willie.
Willie.
That's not how you spell Willie either, but go on.
That's his last name. Battled a polar bear that was savagely mauling a woman in Manitoba, Canada. So
what?
Yeah.
Come on.
That can't be right. I guess Manitoba goes all the way up. I don't know. I just never pictured polar bears in Manitoba.
No.
Okay. No, because what's above that? The Yukon?
I don't know. What do I from Canada?
From Canada? I can't imagine that's geographically right. But I'm probably wrong. Anyways, this is the story.
You didn't investigate?
No.
Of course not. Why would we?
This is his story. It was 5 a.m. when I heard somebody screaming, "Help, it's a bear." I opened my front door and there was a 275-pound polar bear sitting on its haunches with a woman in its mouth, waving her around like a rag doll. I thought to myself, I've got no weapon or anything. And then I saw my shovel sitting there and I found myself going to get it. Once I picked it up, I thought, well, am I going to do anything or is this woman going to die? So down the steps I went. When I got there, I stepped up and I hit the bear in the eye. I heard this. It's one way to piss off a bear, hit it in the eye with a shovel.
Right? Actually, they say the nose is very sensitive. Your Manitoba thing.
Yeah. At
3 meters, 10 feet tall, and weighing roughly 580 kilograms, 1,300 pounds, they are truly a sight to behold. There is only one human settlement in the world where polar bears can be observed in the wild, and it's in Churchill, Manitoba.
Oh. Well, see, I just learned something.
Well, yeah, because I investigate shit.
Okay.
Could have known that earlier.
Could have known that earlier, but I didn't. All right, where are we? Willie's just hit the bear in the eye. Yeah. Okay, he'd heard that this is the best way to fight a bear. He let go of the woman, and she ran into my house. The bear reached out and grabbed a hold of me, and the mauling was on. He tore off my right ear, and I was waiting for him to bite me again. A neighbor fired a shotgun, but it didn't do any good. So he jumped into his truck and he gunned it towards us. I was on my belly on the ground watching this vehicle speeding our way, and it stopped about 2 feet away before the bear let go. I spent 7 days in the hospital. They worked on me for 4 hours in one day to staple my wounds, and then for 4 hours the next day putting my ear back on. So I came out of it pretty good.
What?
That's what he said.
That's like Leonardo DiCaprio shit.
Yeah. Well, that's who he played, right? Who was that? I can't remember. Anyways, I never saw myself a hero and still don't. You're dealt a situation and you either respond or you don't do anything. People say, would you have done anything differently? I haven't the faintest idea. The only thing I could think of was, if I don't do anything, she's not going to make it. So that is our hero of the day.
Good for him.
And Hugh Glass, that was the guy that DiCaprio was playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, so we know the shovel to the eye doesn't work.
No, not unless you want to get mauled and losing.
You smack him in the nose. Yeah. Pretty sure it's the nose.
Well, there you go. And we learned that polar bears are in Manitoba.
Oh, look at that. Not only do we tell you stories, but we educate you. Welcome to our education program. Do you think that talking about Manitoba, Churchill will qualify that our government will leave us the hell alone and we can keep our podcast going?
Yeah. Would you have to keep Canadian content in now or something?
But aren't we Canadian content?
We are the Canadian content. I don't know.
Somebody's got to vote that prick out.
I know.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the podcast where we beg, plead. I don't know what else we do. Bribe you.
Ask nicely.
To please subscribe, leave comments, listen to us.
5-star reviews. We like those. Those are good.
Anything you can do to help support us, we appreciate. We really, really do.
For sure.
Just like you're going to appreciate my next stories.
I'm sure I will.
Not you.
Oh.
Our audience. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to entertain them.
Well,
You get free entertainment all the time from me.
Oh,
you already liked and subscribed to me at our wedding day. So there.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
It's the only way to look at it right now. So, I like to prank people.
Yep, you do.
I'm sure everyone has played jokes on friends and family and stuff before.
You played a joke on me without even being present. Remember when I bought your Halloween?
I didn't even do that. I just asked you if you could pick it up because you knew what I wanted. Then you scared the shit out of yourself. How was that me? Okay, so I wanted this creepy mask for a Halloween thing that we're going to in a couple of weeks. No, next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah.
So I'm on afternoons. My wife was on days where our shifts are all mixed up right now. So she says she'll go and get it for me.
Yeah.
Being a very nice woman, she goes and gets it for me.
It's creepy. Like, it's gross. It's creepy.
So anyways, she goes and gets it, and then she leaves it in the car. She goes in the house, does some stuff, then goes back out the car to get the mask and scares herself because she sees it in the car.
Yep, that happened.
It's like, you know what, people? I'm honestly, until a doctor says that she has Alzheimer's, I won't know. I really won't. I mean, it will just be normal. And then they're going, she has Alzheimer's. Like, I couldn't tell the difference.
It's sad, but true.
Anyways, my favorite prank that I used to do was to my mama.
What'd you do to her?
I used to take my Halloween, back to Halloween masks. I used to take the Halloween masks, and because I always got myself off, my mom and dad worked early shifts, so we had to get ourselves to school. So I would take my Halloween mask and I would put it in her bed and then put her blanket over it. And then when she got into bed at night, she'd see the mask and she'd freak out and scream. And then my brother and I would giggle.
Didn't you do that too with a mink or a mink fur that you put, or a stole or something that you put at her feet?
Yeah, it was a fur-lined coat. I put it at her feet. And then when she got into bed and the feet touched it, she freaked out and screamed because she thought there was a rat in her bed. Yeah, it was good. I was a good kid. I've done many other things too. We could talk about Leah and snakes.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways. But you always have that little, you have to be a little more reserved, right?
Why?
Well, because you don't want to get into what Johnny did.
Oh, yeah. No, we probably don't want to talk about
So Johnny took pranking to the extreme.
Oh, boy.
The better it is, the more views you get on YouTube, right?
Oh, no, not another one of these. Why do you have so many of these?
Well, because people want, I don't know. So anyways, Johnny thought it would be funny to get a friend, and him and his friend got butcher knives, and they started running after people in the parking lot.
No, that's not a good idea, because you're going to do it to the wrong person.
Well, Johnny must have forgotten that he was in the Tennessee state where you can carry firearms. So as you guessed it, I'm sure by now one person had or as you can guess, I'm sure by now, guy had a gun, shot him.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, I would too. Somebody was coming after me with a knife and I had a gun.
Can you imagine that though? Like you find out that it was a prank.
Yeah,
because they got to live with killing somebody and the police and the investigation and
that's something like that person's going to be in counseling for the rest of their life, and hopefully it's not a creepy counselor.
Right?
Yeah.
Here you go. Now we got a guy that knows how to use a gun, and they had the creepy counselor. Right. Anyways, yes, they had the two people, so both Johnnies attacked, and there was a guy filming it, so that's how they found out that it was.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Right?
Yeah.
Pick your pranks. Be smart about them. I've even seen those ones though. I've seen them like where they dress up Chucky and he breaks through the window and they run after him. Like
there's so many of them that I'm surprised. Yeah, even just getting punched in the face. That a lot of these people, I can't believe that they don't just get beat up.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyways, hello, darkness, my old friend. If you are a criminal, you really love the dark.
Mm-hmm. Or disturbed.
It hides you from being caught. Unless you live in Gotham, because Batman.
Yeah, but nobody actually lives in Gotham. You know that, right? It's not a real place, right?
I am Batman. Wear hockey pads. I am Batman. Don't tell anybody. Anyways, back in 2000, a couple of criminals from Australia went to a caravan park where a gentleman was living in his RV motorhome.
Okay, so caravans for Canadians, they're motorhomes, right? Like,
yeah, they're RVs, motorhomes, caravan.
Yeah.
So this was a park where you could actually live and stuff.
Yeah.
So this these criminals decided that it was nice and dark and they were going to rob this guy.
Okay.
So they break in and they go in and the owner's home, and there's a great big huge scuffle going on and fighting and screaming and all that stuff. And then when the owner turns the light on, to his surprise, they were fighting each other and stabbed each other.
Oh my God. How did that happen?
So in complete darkness, they had their knives out and they entered the RV, and a scuffle began with the owner, who was inside sleeping. When things got quiet, the owner turned on the lights to find that both robbers had totally stabbed each other.
Yes.
Well, that's Darwin Awards. What did you expect? I just think I was bringing out geniuses or something.
Oh no. Well, my work here is done.
Yep, I turned the light on. I got them. Called cops. Yep, they're there. Like, how do you know? Yeah, like, I don't know.
That's funny though. That's like
it's not. It's
like,
funny, but it's not funny.
No, that's true. It was actually real people, but it's totally Three Stooges or something.
Well, two, anyways. The other guy was just trying to, like, wait, don't call him a stooge. He knows he was there by himself.
I'm just saying it was that kind of genre.
Well, to continue on with my crazy people, Burger King.
Yeah, they are good.
I like Whoppers.
I like Impossible Whoppers.
And so do many people across North America. Fast food restaurants are everywhere. But the people they employ are really not making that much money.
No. Minimum wage, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But two managers of a Burger King in Indianapolis came together to come up with an idea on how to make more money.
Is it drugs? It's always drugs.
Nope. Not drugs. So it's not always drugs.
Okay.
Apologize. It's not always drugs. We sorry, drugs.
Sorry,
you have a bad rap. The day manager thought that they came up with this plan where the day manager would take whatever money came in. It was about $4,000, and she would tie up the night manager and put her in the freezer. So the day manager would then start a fire in the garbage. This would trigger the fire alarm. Firefighters would show up. She would be saved, and they would get away with the money. The only problem was the day manager builds fires like you and Leah. Not at all.
Oh, no.
Yes. So it went out. So the night shift manager froze to death. The next day, when the morning shift came in and opened the door, the air swooping in started the embers on fire, and everything went up in flames.
Oh my God, that much later?
Yeah. So it was just smoldering, I guess. Yeah. So, when you add air to it, right? So it must have been, when they opened everything up and the fresh air came in, right. It ignited the embers and the firefighters were called. When the firefighters found the manager, they noticed that, so here's the really stupid part, okay? The manager froze to death. Remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. When the firefighters found the manager, they noticed that the ropes were loose enough that she could have got out of them, and the freezer was unlocked.
Oh, no. No, that's dumb.
Right?
Yeah, no.
Right? Like, you're just sitting, I'm just going to freeze it because I know they're going to come. Like, there's no fire alarm going off. There's no nothing. She could have just walked out of there herself and said, fuck it. But no.
Because she was too afraid of, like, bring the money back.
I don't know what she was, but yeah. So, and that's what triggered them to go look into it more. They're like, and that's how they found out and caught the other manager and found out everything out. But yeah. So
wow, over $4,000.
Right? Actually, $2,000 because they were going to split it.
Yeah. Oh no, that's terrible.
But why wouldn't you, after so long, just get up?
Like, maybe she fell asleep. That's the only explanation I have. I don't know.
People are awesome.
Think-
We are the worst species.
We are.
I don't
We
know.
really
I don't.
are.
Oh my God. Anyways, those are my stories.
Yeah, they were good ones this week. I enjoyed them all.
So, what do you mean this week? They're always good. What do you mean by that statement?
I'm just saying they were all of them held my attention fully 100%.
Maybe because you're sober this week. You had no wine. You're not dozing off. Huh?
Finish whatever you were saying before. I was trying to give you a compliment. God's sake.
I don't want a compliment. You didn't give me a compliment. You were saying this week you gave me a compliment. All the other 2 seasons sucked. Didn't hold your attention.
It's not what I was saying at all.
That's where
Don't
it was.
twist my
I'm not
words.
twisting your words. That's what you said. Anyways, now I'm upset. I did not do a dad joke because I wanted you to do yours.
I like mine.
So my wife comes running in with this dad joke last night when we had friends over. And all of us just kind of stared at her, all the guys, because she was weird. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to make her say it on our podcast.
Okay.
So I already know this joke. I want the rest of the world, or at least the people that subscribe to this channel, to hear what I have to put up with. Take it away, baby.
How do you know, how heavy a chili pepper is?
I don't know.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. It's hilarious.
She killed herself for probably a good 20 to 30 minutes laughing over that joke last night.
That's because it was hilarious.
And she's still doing it today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Dead or Survive. I am out.
Bye.